Hello. So today I'm having to go back through and kind of redo a video that I've done in the past couple weeks ago. And that was the differences between US and European hot tubs, and comparing the differences and just making people aware of that. The reason that I'm redoing this video is because there was some information in there that was incorrect. I ended up finding this out firsthand when I got my new Havana. And if you've seen my Havana hot tub review, you'll hear me make mention of it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the old video, and I'm going to have this new revised one as being the current one. All right, so as far as what was incorrect, the big issue was that I was under the assumption, and based on all my research, that 110 was not capable of supporting heat and air jets at the same time. I was wrong. My Havana can do it, and apparently pretty much all the manufacturers switched over to a different configuration that allows, on a 110 based system, the air jets and the heater to run at the same time. So you can run the air jets and the heater at the same time on a US version 110 plug and play inflatable tub. So what happened was that prior to 2018, because my tub that I had, the Miami, was an older one, it was not capable of doing so. But apparently all manufacturers have done it. I got in touch with some folks who had Intex, M-Spa, so they are all capable of this. Now that said, however, you still do need to be aware that running the heat and the air jets at the same time, it's really all its function is to prolong the cool down process. It's still going to cool down, it's just not going to cool down quite as fast. So it does serve a useful function, but don't just sit there and think, oh, well, it's at 104, Fahrenheit, so the max temperature there, and it's going to go ahead and maintain 104 with the lid off on a cooler day or whatever, and you're not going to get any drop in temperature by running the heater and the air jets at the same time. That is not true at all. You are, whether you have a US or European air jet tub, you are going to end up having a situation where the tub is going to cool down. It's just, it takes a bit longer for it to do. So instead of, say, dropping, 6 to 8 degrees in a 30-minute cycle period, air jet cycle period, which the lazy spas run, you might drop 3 or 4 degrees with the heater and the air jets running at the same time. Okay, so there is one other difference that I did look up and I did research, and it seems to be pretty solid. This is not necessarily true, I believe, on the Costway tubs, and I'm not sure on the M-Spa tubs. But on the Intex and the Lazy Spa tubs, in a lot of cases, in the European models, they only take a single filter. In the US versions, they take a dual filter. All right. So, and that's honestly, it's one of my biggest gripes, actually, is I don't like maintaining a dual filter system. Just because it's more expensive as far as costs for, because you got to buy a few extra filters to rotate in and out in between cleanings, unless you want to wear out the ones that you have really fast. And so that is a difference. And a lot of times you'll see it where when you're watching the videos on how to set up, because the written instructions are crap, and you're watching the YouTube video and you'll see, say you've got a Lazy Spa Miami, and you're watching the video and you see them only hook up one filter, and then you're wondering where they're showing the other filter being hooked up, or where that big pipe that runs between the two filters and the air jet pump and the secondary filter on your tub is. Well, it's because they don't have them. For whatever reason, the UK version and the European version tubs are all able to get away with only having a single filter. So for Intex, I'm not 100% sure, so you might want to look into that and just do a comparison. But it just adds more hassle factor to it. I'm not sure why the manufacturers decided to do that, particularly with Lazy Spa. It's an issue I really wish that they would address and find a way to get us down to a single filter here in the US. I don't know if it's because of I don't know, silly regulations or whatever that exist here that don't exist there. I don't know. Either way, it's kind of stupid, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyways, we do have more filters to use, more filters to buy and rotate out and whatnot here in the US. So the next one would be when you're going through and you're taking a look at the European markets and you're going on these inflatable hot tub groups, Facebook groups, forums, whatever it might be, and you get these people chiming in from the UK and they're telling you, hey, you need to go out there and buy, say, a Hydrojet Pro tub. Well, unfortunately, in the US, Hydrojet Pro models were all discontinued about 2 years ago because what they found is that the market, for the price, it was too close in price to a plug-and-play hard side where people were saying, okay, rather than going out and spending, $900 to $1,000 on an inflatable tub, why don't I just go out and say, buy an Aquarest or an Aquaterra from Costco or something like that when they're on sale, because you can get them for between about $1,800 and $2,000 and get a full hard side tub that still plugs into a 110 outlet, so you don't have to, hire the electrician. So anyways, the Hydrojet Pro models that are often recommended by folks over in the UK and Europe are tubs that no longer exist here, as well as some additional models. You're going to see names like, Hawaii Hydrojet Pro. You're going to hear of Maldives, which I think maybe had a limited run a couple of years ago here in the US, but it's long gone. You won't find a Maldives here in the US anymore. They haven't made it for at least a couple of years now. You'll also find some other ones like St. Lucia or Sia, I can't remember how it's pronounced, Bali and stuff like that. Basically what these are, though, these ones are just ones that are just rebadged Miami variant hot tubs. Like here in the US, we would find them as the Coleman Havana, the Coleman Tahiti. So it's just basically, it's the same tub, just rebranded with different accessory items, okay? So the next one is the accessory market. The accessory market for inflatable hot tubs in the UK is light years beyond what it is here. You can purchase new tub liners. You can purchase specific make and model LED lights. You can even find some good third-party manufacturers that will make decent quality stuff for them that we just don't get here in the US. So a lot of times, people just, from the, Europe or the UK are going to be telling you, hey, you got a new Lazy Spa Miami. Why don't you just go ahead and go to their website there and order the actual Lazy Spa LED light, and you've got a light in your Miami. Well, we can't do that. We don't have, Lazy Spa, for whatever reason, does not make an LED light here in the US market. As a matter of fact, the only one that I'm aware of that makes an LED light from a reputable company would be Intex. Intex does make a good quality LED light. And with a little bit of finagling, you can find a way to get it to fit a Lazy Spa. But you're going to have to do some, do-it-yourself engineering on it. So just be aware of that before you get one. But it is a good quality light. I've used it in my old Miami, and I have it currently as a floater light in my Havana until I decide what else I want to do with it. But you'll also find, just various other accessory type items that they have access to that we don't have access to here. So a lot of times if you're looking on there on forums and groups, you'll get all these people, from the UK and Europe saying, oh, just go here and get it or whatever. I even actually did look into this. I did look into seeing if I could order internationally from Lazy Spa's UK site, because they've got all kinds of accessories. Some of them obviously, are connected to the 220, 230 power source that they use over there. And of course, those you couldn't use over here in the US without some form of transformer. But, something like the battery operated LED lights or something like that, those are universal. So you could order them in theory. But as I mentioned, you cannot order them. They won't ship internationally. So I did even look into that option just to see if I could get them imported from the UK, but no, you cannot. So for whatever reason, Bestway has decided to kind of give its patrons here in the US market kind of the shaft in a lot of accessory type items. So anyways, these are just some things to be aware of that as you're looking into getting a hot tub, if you're getting recommendations and you're scratching your head going, man, I've looked all over the place for this hot tub, this accessory item, or they're telling me that this works, or you only have a single filter on this tub and I've got 2 filters, what the heck's going on here? That's what's going on, is that there is a difference between the US market and the UK and European market. As far as what you have available, the capabilities of the tub, in terms of, things like filtration and stuff like that. So anyways, just be aware of that when people are making these recommendations, that you need to make sure to look into what's specific to the US market. And that's all I've got, and thanks for watching.